welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lydia if you're new here, and this is gonna be another episode of my knitting podcast. So I'm gonna tell you all about finished objects, what I'm currently knitting, and what has found its way into my possession over the last month or so. And I really hope we're gonna have a good time and you have something to drink, something to knit, because this is gonna be a long episode. January was a very knitty month. I got really into knitting smaller projects. In the past, I've usually only knitted sweaters or like t-shirts or summer garments and an odd hat here or there, but never really socks or mittens. Or what else did I make? Yeah, I mainly made socks and mittens last month, and I find a lot of joy in having larger projects mixed with smaller projects to switch it up and to see progress faster and to have a finished item more quickly. I always considered myself a progress knitter because I'm such a polygamous person when it comes to knitting, and I never only knit one piece, so it's really more about the process and the progress and the project development, I guess, with me. But recently I've been just so happy having finished garments and smaller items to wear and to be happy with. So I'm converted now to smaller projects. Let me know if you prefer garments or smaller items to knit, because I kind of like both now that I've learned to make socks, which was the most daunting thing, and in the end it turned out to be quite easy, thanks to the crazy sock lady. So enough rambling. I hope you're ready. So let's get into what I finished last month. First item is this Cumulus blouse by PetiteKnit. I made it in a size medium, which is pretty perfect for my bust measurements, because I think I have 93 or 94 centimeters around my bust, and it has the planned amount of positive ease. And I knitted in a strand of drops kid silk and drops alpaca, which turned out to be a very beautiful, quite warm combination, and a bit less see-through than it would have been when it's just mohair. And yeah, it's my fourth Cumulus blouse and I still like it very much, and I love layering pieces underneath. So either with a blouse where you can see a bit of the collar and the lace, or I have this racerback top that is very high cut on the neck, and yeah, it peeks out. I really like that look as well. So this is a very versatile piece, and I think this oatmeal color is really nice to pair with warmer colors as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of it, and I'm happy I have it now. I started it, I think, in October or November of last year, but then I went on to other projects. But I've returned to this and finished it up last month. And onto socks now. You saw me finish one sock in the first podcast, and now I finished the second. And I used this beautiful mustard yellow yarn from a yarn brand here in Marburg, but sadly the yarn is so soft or breakable really, that when I just am a bit more on the rough side when putting the socks on, the yarn breaks on the cast off edge, and that's just cast on edge, they are knitted that way, and I'm not very happy about that. So I don't think I'll use this yarn for the cuff anymore, but those are the perfect loungy socks. And then I made a second pair that I just finished and still have to sew in the ends with these. Oh, this is a blocked sock and this is not blocked. I guess you can tell the difference. So I'm going to show you this one. But this Tweedy yarn is designated sock yarn, so it will wear quite well, I guess, and I didn't have to be as careful with it as with these, because I used the natural wool yarn from Rainclous and Sage for the heel, and I guess that will get worn out quite quickly if I wear those in boots. So those are more boot socks, and those are going to be my couch socks. But I think the stripes are really fun on the socks. I think they are very sporty, like tennis socks a bit. Yeah. So very happy with my sock journey here. Another thing I was knitting in, oh, the sun's coming out. How nice. I've missed you, old friend. Another thing I was knitting in my first video was the Sophie shawl by PetiteKnit in this tweed, because I'm in my tweed era, and held together with a strand of mohair. I'm gonna write everything down below in the description box, so if you want to know which exact colors of yarn I used, or which yarn or which pattern and who the designer is, everything will be down below so you can find it easily. Yeah, this is the smallest size, but I did a bit longer than the smallest size, but way smaller than the medium size, if you get what I mean. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. It is a bit itchy because I used Rico design mohair, and that's not very soft. I don't think I would use it again actually, but it's very pretty, and I'm not that sensitive to mohair, thankfully, which is actually funny because my husband despises the feeling of knit on his skin, not even for socks or mittens or a hat. He just doesn't like it, and I wish I could knit him something, but he just wouldn't wear it. I made him a sweater that he never wore, and we gave to a friend of his then. But yeah, I'm very much insensitive to itchiness, I feel like. I mean, this is also quite itchy, but it's fine. I don't mind it. And yeah, I'm very happy with this scarf that I got it finished before traveling to South Korea on Sunday. I'm filming this episode on Monday, and this time next week I'll be 8 hours in the future and quite a few miles away from home with my friend, and we are visiting our friend who lives there for a year, I think, and she's studying Korean, so she'll be our guide and our Gandalf, showing us the way, and we'll have a big adventure, and I'm so excited. And I've also researched a couple of yarn stores to visit while we're there, and I think that's going to be so fun, exploring different kinds of yarn, and just everything seems to be so aesthetic in Seoul that I can't wait to go and just soak it all in, wearing my Sophie shawl. Okay, the next thing is an unplanned knit, because I thought I would show you the yarn as an acquisition, but then my impulse control didn't work out, so I just knitted up a quick little holiday slipover. This is my fourth, which is actually a fun story because I made an off-white colored one this time last year, and loved it so much that I thought, oh, I'm gonna need a colored one to mix up like white blouses and just, yeah, to wear with different outfits than the white one. And because it's so fun to knit, I think this is one of the easiest and quickest knits you could do. It's a pattern by PetiteKnit, if I didn't say. And then I tried to find the yarn I used for my off-white one in a different color, but it was on clearance because Knitting for Olive discontinued that kind of yarn. It's the double soft merino, and I only found it in a blush color, so I got that on offer, which was great, and ended up a second holiday slipover with that yarn. And then last autumn I was like, oh, I really need a yellow or reddish one to wear with even more outfits, because apparently it's addicting to make holiday slipovers. And I got Drops Snow in a rusty red color and knitted up a holiday slipover in one day with that yarn, and I didn't like it. I think I picked the wrong size because my first one was quite oversized. I went a size down, didn't love that, and the yarn didn't sit as I hoped it would, so I think I'm gonna sell it or give it away. And oh, on that note, in mostly every pattern it says that you're not allowed to sell products you make with this pattern, and for me that just means you can't make profit from selling those garments or those items, because how sad would it be for non-knitters not being able to purchase yarn for their knitter friend and to have them make a garment for them. Like I usually, when I decide to sell or to get rid of garments, I usually ask for the price of the yarn in return. I don't put a price to the time and effort I put into it, because that's just lost. Like that's a write-off basically. But I would like to get the money for the yarn back, and I think that's an ethical way to do that. But let me know what you think about it. I write in my patterns, not for commercial sale, and I think that's a good solution. But let me know what you think. And back to this slipover. So this is the fourth in the color I wanted originally, like kind of my second, like the wish for my second slipover was this color. And this is yarn by Wool and the Gang, the Feeling Good yarn. And I held 2 strands together without the mohair. Like the pattern says 2 strands of a blown yarn and 1 strand of mohair. And I just used this blown yarn, which has alpaca in it, so it does have this beautiful halo. I think you can see really nicely in the sunlight. And this is the color Bronze Olive, which is a beautiful mustard shade, I would say, and it's so soft. I'm very happy with the yarn, and if I ever do a similar pattern, I think I'm done with holiday slippers for now. Slipovers for now. I will go back to that yarn. I had some yarn left over, and I thought, how fun would it be to have a matching hat? So I made the Hitchhiker Beanie by Spektakelstrik, and I think I did the decreases a bit wrong because the stitch doesn't look like a stitch, but I'm very happy with the look of it. And I did have to make it a bit shorter to manage with the yarn, but I think it's so nice and it's so soft and it fits me really well, and I don't know how it looks right now, but I'm very happy with it, and it's also coming to South Korea with me. We are not finished with finished objects because I made a pair of mittens and a pair of fingerless gloves that I can't find. Those are my Macaron Mittens, and it's a pattern by me because I really wanted mittens and I wanted them to be fluffy with mohair or alpaca, and still fingering lacy and just very elegant and dainty but warm at the same time. So I wrote up a quick little pattern and have mohair fluff everywhere. Ooh. And 3 of my friends actually test knitted for me, which was very kind of them. And yeah, those are the Macaron Mittens by yours truly. And because not everybody loves mohair, I made 1 mitten with just a strand of DK. This is Drops Charisma, and yeah, also very nice and very warm. I think this would be a good unisex version as well. So, or you could embroider some flowers on it, or do it stripy. Many options. And oh, I forgot, the yarn I used for this is sock yarn by Olivia and Oliver in the color Torre de Giralda, I think you say it, held together with a strand of unidentifiable caramel colored mohair, and it resulted in this beautiful caramel speckle combination, which I really love and fits beautifully with all my winter coats, so I'm very thrilled with those. Yeah, this is Drops Charisma, and then I'm currently making a pair of fingerless mittens, which actually will be in the pattern for the mittens as well. So you can decide if you do the mitten or the fingerless glove. And this yarn is actually sponsored by Olivia and Oliver for the test knit, which is very kind, and my friends who test knitted for me were really happy to receive such beautiful yarn. And I used, which colours? I used alpaca, silk, which is alpaca yarn in the colour El Capitan, and the sock yarn is called Feather, I think, from her Dyed to Order collection. And it's so funny to me because if you use a speckled yarn, the yarn you hold it with makes such a difference, because this is made of this yarn with a strand of greyish coloured Surrey silk, and this sock is just this yarn. And then for the heel and the toe I used different yarn. But yeah, which leads us to this sock. Those are singles, by the way, they're still looking for a partner. I made one sock, not a pair, a sock of vanilla latte socks, which is this beautiful broken rib pattern, and a beautiful finger puppet as well, hand puppet. But yeah, I think the vanilla latte pattern is not available anymore on Ravelry, so I just eyeballed it, and I'm happy with the result and the sock, and I'm happy to wear them soon. And the brown colour is actually from a limited collection by Phoebe Mercy, which is the Shire collection, and this is pipeweed, I think, the colour. This tangly mess is my Rhabarber sweater, which I am making for the Rhabarber sweater knit along. You can use this hashtag to participate if you want to make your own Rhabarber sweater, and it doesn't really look like much, right? And it's going to be a beautiful sweater as soon as I detangle this alpaca silk. And this color combination is inspired by a sweater I saw in Berlin last autumn, and I'm really thrilled to just make my own. And I'm kind of modifying the pattern, which it invites you to. I have a little section, Hack the Knit, where you can find some ideas what you could do with the pattern, and I'm doing straps. I've done a folded collar and some short rows, so I'm excited to see how that goes. But I'm going to bring it with me to Seoul to do as my travel knitting project. And my newest impulse knit is it's this one, which is going to be the Rhabarber sweater chunky edition. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this mock neck situation or if I want to fold it down, but I think it's prettier if I do fold it down like so, because it'll still be quite high on the neck, but I love the look of a folded down collar. And this yarn is such a beautiful combination, because I really wanted a really warm sweater that I could wear like in end of January, February, March, because it's still very cold at that time around here. But I didn't want dark neutral colors that would be just a bit dreary, because after November, December, I'm ready for more color and for some lightness in my wardrobe. So this is the perfect item for that. And I see myself wearing this with a puffer vest on top, and then just some Doc Martens, and I think that would be such a pretty look. And I started it Friday evening, and I'm already like 4 centimeters below the armholes, which is fun. And fingers crossed I'll finish it before we board our plane on Sunday 10:45 a.m. So fingers crossed. And And the yarn I'm using for this is Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the color Marzipan. This is actually the German way to say it, Marzipan, or as anybody else would say, Marzipan. And the Suri silk is by Olivia and Oliver, the color Torre di Giralda as well, which is my favorite color by her, I think. It's such a fun and happy color with orange specks and little green specks, and this tangle makes me so mad. I have to detangle it before I show you the color of the Suri silk, because I just received that package on Friday and couldn't stop myself from caking it up, so we're gonna go over to acquisitions. I have a little package here with all my new acquisitions, and this is what the Suri silk looks like in the hank, and it's so pretty. Can you see all the orange and green specks, a bit of yellow and beige and blush pink, and it's such a beautiful spring color. But if you mix it with a different yarn, it'll be caramel and still have those speckles. So such a beautiful color, and the fun thing with Olivia and Oliver is that you can get so many different bases for each color. So my life goal will be to knit every base she has for this color, because it'll be different every time. So I got 3 strands of those in total. It's 300 meters per 50 grams, so it's a total of 150 grams and 900 meters, which should be enough for the Rhabarber sweater chunky in a size medium for myself. And another thing I had in my order from Olivia and Oliver, I placed that order in November when she had a little sale, and it was dyed to order. So it took quite a while because I think Tam was redoing her dyeing room as well. So it just arrived, and this purchase was very much influenced by Chelsea from True Lane, and it's so fun because my friend Marlena actually got the same yarn, and she is making a Monday sweater by PetiteKnit out of it. And I got this beautiful fingering weight merino in the color Eggnog, which has those cool toned brown speckles and yellow speckles and like an eggnoggy colored base. And I got 3 strands of this. Here you go, they are very beautifully speckled, and I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. So if you have any ideas what kind of sweater or garment would be nice with this yarn, please tell me. I'm very undecided, and I have so many ideas and then I have none, and I have not had the perfect idea, obviously, but maybe you have some. So please let me know if you have any garment in mind that would be beautiful with a total of 300 grams of fingering weight merino. I'm open to holding it together with a strand of mohair or alpaca. And yeah, I think I would match it with a caramely colored mohair or alpaca, because I like to warm it up a little bit, because the brown flecks are very on the cool tone side, and I don't love that for my complexion. So I think I'm gonna warm it up a little bit with the lace yarn I'm gonna hold it with. And lastly, I have some odds and ends and a little order from A Knitter's Wish, which is my favorite German online shop to get all kinds of yarn from, but mainly Sandnes or Knitting for Olive. But first off, I got 3mm needles from Knit Pro in their Symphony edition, which is these like dip dye or like marbly colored tips, and they are wooden. Because I break so many 3mm needles by sitting down on them, I stock up on them when I can. And when I was in town with my friend for a little pistachio croissant date, we went to my favorite stationery store, which is called Typo Poetry in around, you should check that out. And they have this beautiful little pouch in this color, which is like a nougat color, and in a minty color. And this is perfect for all my notions. So I have this pouch of stitch markers in it, my measuring tape, a gauge thing and something to measure the needle size with, which my friend got me, and scissors and a needle to sew in any ends, and lastly lip balm, because I tend to get very dry lips when I knit, so this is always at hand. And it's so nice to have it all together, because I usually have my current projects just in a random like cotton bag, and this I'm just gonna chuck in it so I'm ready for anything that could happen to my project. What I got at a Knitter's Wish is 5 balls of knitting for Olive cotton merino in the color ochre brown, which is this beautiful ochre brown. I think this is a very fitting name for this color, because I have a friend who got engaged at the beginning of January, and she's planning her wedding, and I got it into my head that I needed to make myself a dress for her wedding to wear, and this is gonna be a dress hopefully, or a Sunday tee by PetiteKnit, we'll see. But I really hope for a dress, because this would be so pretty. And yeah, I do have some time left because she's getting married in September, but we'll see how that goes. And since my sock mojo has not ended yet, I got 2 balls of Filcolana Arvetta in the color 363. I think it's either caramel or camel. And yeah, I really like it, and it's a beautiful color. I think it will be very pretty with my beige Vans to wear in spring, and I might try a lace pattern with these socks. And then the second to last acquisition is 2 balls of Sandnes Tinline, which is a beautiful summer yarn, and I did a bit of an impulse purchase with this because I want to make a summer top. I think either something along the Cumulus top, or something I will draft myself. And I think 2 balls will be enough, or I just stock up on a third. And this is a yarn made out of 53% cotton, 33% viscose and 14% linen, which is so nice in the summer. It's such a beautiful yarn, and the color is Kit number 1015, and I love that color so much. And I made my Anka's summer bluse with the regular Sandnes Line yarn in the same color, and I wear it so much in summer that I thought I could use a top in that same shade. And the last item is this little bit of thread by PetiteKnit. It's elastic thread for knitwear. Keep your knit in shape, and that's what I plan on using it for, to put into my collars so they fit a bit more snug to my neck. And yeah, I wanted that for a while and it was in stock, so I got it. And that is everything I have to show you this month. I'm very excited to finish this sweater and to get further on my Rhabarber sweater, and to see all your beautiful versions of that sweater under the hashtag Rhabarberkarl. And yeah, let me know what you would do with the eggnog yarn. That's everything I have to show you for this episode of Rhabarber Knits, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you could knit a bit. And let me know what you're knitting on currently, and why am I tangling everything all the time? Okay, not too bad. And yeah, I think the next video will be something along the lines of a vlog because I plan on filming a little bit in Seoul, and as I said, we'll visit some yarn shops, and yeah, maybe you're interested in seeing yarn around the world, and yeah, I hope you're having a good time, and check in the next time I upload. And if you like, you could subscribe, that's free, and check out my Instagram because it's easier to share and to connect over there. Yeah, I think that's everything. So bye bye.